Hello and welcome back. So I have a question for you. Have you ever had a moment where you are afraid to really be vulnerable? I know I have. Not just one, but plenty of them. So today we're going to talk about vulnerability, and a lot of the people see vulnerability as something that is going to come across as being weak, or something that is not very good, right? Because many of us are taught to be strong and that we should know everything, and even we get raised, or we create this idea in our heads that we have to be perfect. Now, let me tell you, that's really not going to work, because the moment we're trying to be this perfect person, it's just going to add a lot of stress to our daily life. And where does vulnerability come in? Well, being vulnerable is also a sign of strength. And perhaps right now you're thinking, what do you mean a sign of strength? Yes, because when you think about it, let's take a very simple example, like riding a bike, right? Nobody here was born and the first time that they got on a bike, they knew it like this, right? Nobody here was born knowing how to ride a bike already. And if you take that concept of riding a bike, you start maybe with a tricycle, or, the helping wheels on the side. And then slowly you take one away, and then you're two wheels, and then you're like not in balance, and maybe you fall. You definitely don't go straight in a straight line the first time you ride a bike. And that's sometimes how life is, especially when we're doing something new, right? Especially where you're doing, either you're creating your business, or you're starting a new study, or something that is new for you. And a lot of us think that I have to know this right away, I have to do it perfect, and that creates stress. So by being vulnerable can also be like, look, you know what, like I just don't know how to do this, or I'm trying my best, but it's too much for me, That's a part of vulnerable. You also have the other vulnerabilities that where you really show your emotions, right? And some of us do not want to show our emotions because we're afraid what people are going to think about us, right? So we're afraid to, if you're sad or you're angry or you like somebody, or whatever emotion you may be dealing with right now, you don't want to show it because you want to keep up a certain appearance. So my question to you, like every week I have a question for you, because it's all about you, right? This is something that I learned in personal development, that it's all about us. So it's all about you. How do you deal with certain things in life? And how are you when it comes to emotions, right? When it comes to showing your vulnerabilities, are you using them to be strong? Or are you pushing them away and hiding them so that you can have this picture perfect idea or image of you? Now look, I'm not saying that if you are feeling vulnerable to, there are moments and times where you want to show your vulnerability, and there are moments and times where you want to maybe not show it, right? The difference here and the key here is to know when it's safe to show your vulnerabilities, and also to be okay with showing your vulnerabilities. So my question to you is, do you show your vulnerabilities? And when do you show them? And how do you know you're actually being vulnerable? I know with a lot of my clients, when we talk about emotions or different difficult situations that we go through life, it's hard for them to talk about it, right? And this is something that I teach you in my trainings or in my coaching sessions, how to be okay with being vulnerable, because you're also showing a part of whom we are. So I invite you to just observe for yourself, am I being vulnerable or not? And how does that feel? And it's also okay to be vulnerable. I hope you enjoyed this short video. You can always send me a message or a DM. And if you have any topics you want to talk about, if you have any questions you want to discuss, I am here for you. And above all, I hope that you are taking care of yourself, because everything starts within, that you have self-love and inner peace. I send you much love and see you next time. Don't forget, being vulnerable is a sign of strength. Doei doei. Ciao.